Hello there. So, I haven't posted a video in a hot minute, mostly because Star Wars hasn't released anything in a hot minute. So now, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I got something to talk about finally. But before we get into it, what is up my dudes, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? I'm One Creative Ginger, and in this house we have incoherent and emotional rants over fictional content, all while dressed in cosplay. So, like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. So yeah, of course they waste no time in reminding us that Order 66 was a thing, you know. They don't want us to forget about it, but at least, you know, here it makes sense, because obviously this is after the prequels and all that, and you know, it ends with Order 66, so you know, it makes sense that they'd start with that. But did anyone notice how, like, the Jedi just did not hesitate to kill the clones? And you know, of course, you know, they're shooting at them. Obviously, you'd be like, your first instinct as a Jedi, you'd be to fight back, but they just mow them down. They like do not hesitate at all to kill the clones. And obviously, you know, it's the Jedi Temple. Who knows, you know, how much interaction they've had with the clones, but it's like they don't hesitate at all. Like, you think, you know, you'd like force push them away, or like knock them into a wall and knock them out and then run. You know, you think maybe that would be like the second thing you do. Like, of course you'd like defend yourself like they do, but they just don't hesitate to just chop them down. I don't know. There's just something weird about, you know, the Jedi just not hesitating at all to kill the clones, which, you know, I don't know. The clones were trying to kill them, but like, they're clones. You could have just knocked them against a wall, knocked them out, and just ran for it. Because they have the Force. They can Force jump their way out of there. I don't know. It just seemed a little weird that like their first instinct was to kill them because the clones are trying to kill you. You're a Jedi, might as well kill them because they're trying to kill you. I don't know. I thought their whole thing was just don't kill people. You know? I don't know. It's kind of weird. So now we have a 10-year skip from Order 66, so 10 years have passed. So we get to meet the Inquisitors. And so, here's the thing with the Grand Inquisitor. The way they could have fixed the Grand Inquisitor was just adding a couple inches to his head. Just put some foam or something, then cover it with a bald cap and just slap it on there. Put the makeup over it. It would have looked a lot better, because the actor just has a too round of a face shape that it just doesn't work. It just looks like you slapped a bald cap on him and called it good. All you really needed to do was give him, like, those, like, the whites of his eyes needed to be blacked out. And you could have put more eyeshadow around his eyes to just make his eyes look more sunken in. And that's literally all you needed to do. Just make his head look longer, which would have been easy, because you just could have put some foam on top of his head, and then just put some more dark eyeshadow around his eyes, and then blacked out his eyes. Also, the third sister, she is here to be a problem for everyone, and I love it. Like, she is out for herself. She doesn't care about anyone. So, something weird that I did notice with that whole, like, interaction with, like, Owen and all the other people, where they're trying to find... They're not trying to find Kenobi, they're trying to find that other Jedi, but, it's weird that they're, like, asking people and not, like, just going into their mind and trying to search and see where they are, you know? I thought that was a little weird, because we do see the third sister using it in the next episode. So I don't know if that's just not something that Inquisitors can do, or they choose not to, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, because, like, Jedi had no problem doing that with, like, their mind tricks and shit, you know? So it's like, I don't know what that was about, because I was just like, just use mind tricks. Like, why are you just, like, asking people and then straight up threatening them if they don't, like, tell you the information? Yeah, it's kind of weird that was not a thing, but then a thing. So, yeah, I don't know what that was about. Maybe they'll explain it, but, like, that was just weird. But I also want to know, like, the third sister's, like, really hell-bent on finding Kenobi. like, did they have like a run-in before and she's just super salty? Like, is it like a Darth Maul situation where Obi-Wan like fucked her over somehow and now she's out for revenge? Or is it just to gain power because like she's trying to catch him and give him to Vader, and then the other Inquisitors is just like, no, don't, why are you so obsessed with this? Like, that was like a whole issue. So like, I don't really know. Like, it could be both. Like, maybe she does want revenge, but she also wants to gain some power, and I don't know. It's like, I'm intrigued to see what her deal is, but like, oh, baby Leia is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And she is so good at roasting bitches. She'll roast anyone, and it's just on point, like, damn. And she's only 10. And she'd be roasting everyone. She'd be roasting Obi-Wan. She'd be roasting her little shit of a cousin. Roasting her mom, too. Like, damn. Like, she honestly, she carried these whole 2 episodes. She was just fun. But like, also, Bail talking to her about, like, Alderaan, like, being here for a long time, and how Leia's going to be the one to rule their planet, and I'm just like, ooh. Yeah, we all know what happens to Alderaan, and so that whole conversation where Bail was talking to Leia about that, I was like, yeah, that's, ooh. So then we got the second episode where Leia just gets kidnapped by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I wasn't expecting that. So when I saw his name in the credits, I was like, God damn, who was he? He was the guy that kidnaps her. I thought that was funny, because, man, yeah. He fits the bounty hunter look, definitely. But yeah. So, of course, someone needs to go after her, and so Bail goes to Kenobi, and he's like, hey, can you help me out? And this bitch is like, no, I have to be here. I have to look after Luke. And he's like, well, Leia's just as important, which she is. So get off your ass, Kenobi, and go help her. Like, goddamn. But, like, obviously, we all know why. Like, he feels like he's a failure, and he's given up the Jedi ways. Like, he buried his lightsaber. He hasn't used the Force in 10 years. So, like, obviously, there's more than one reason why he doesn't want to, like, go find Leia, because he's like, I haven't used the Force in a while, so who knows. And it does show that he hasn't been in action for a hot minute, right? But like, he does go. Bail is able to guilt trip his ass into going and finding Leia. But yeah. But then we see a clone veteran. And the sad part about that is he's probably the best off. Yeah, the clones are not treated right at all. Even when they were fighting for the Republic, they weren't treated right. Let's be real. Like, we all, if you watch Clone Wars, yeah, you see. It's veiled in a way where you're like, oh, it's not that bad. It is bad, though. Yeah. Like, yeah, this poor clone is probably one of the ones that are better off, because they've probably been sold into slavery at this point, because they were slaves to the Republic. They're literally referred to as property of the Republic, so, in this case, they just have to scrounge for food and credits at this point, because people don't see clones as people. But I did like the fake Jedi guy. He was funny. His whole, like, over-the-top thing, I enjoyed. I thought that was fun, and it was, like, very obvious that it's fake, right? And then Obi-Wan just getting his ass kicked, but also kicking ass, was really fun, because it's like, oh yeah, he's rusty, but, like, he can still, hold his own, but just, like, it's been a while. It's been 10 years, and he's had some self-doubt. He's been wallowing in self-doubt for, like, the past 10 years, too, so it's like, he's having a rough time, but he still gets the job done. And also, Leia is just like ready to kneecap a bitch to escape. Oh my god, that was so funny because she just whacks Obi-Wan right in the knee and just books it. Oh my god, when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, that's Leia right there. She kicking ass as usual, and she's only 10. Oh, I love it, and I'm so glad that they put her in here. I wanted to see more of Leia so bad, and so I'm so glad that we're seeing more of her, and she's kicking ass, and she's only 10. Like, that's good shit right there. And of course, the third sister continuing to be a problem and continuing to make sure everyone's suffering, you know? I just like, I mean, go off, sis. Like, you are getting your shit down. You're looking out for number one, which is you. Like, I vibe with that. Like, that's fun. Like, man, she just does not care. And, like, she's fucking with Inquisitors. And, like, Vader to a certain degree, too. Like, she does not care. And I love it. It's just like, yeah, it's like she's gonna continue to be a problem. And it's going to be so fun to watch. I love that. I love that for her because, man, she's getting it done. She's, like, basically the one that's driving this whole plot because, like, literally, like, everything that's happened, like, the whole kidnapping thing was her idea. She's the one that hired the bounty hunters to grab Leia, and so, you know, Obi-Wan would come out of hiding, you know, and it's just, she's the one that's driving the plot by being a problem, and I love it. She's been fun. She's been making this show fun so far. Another weird thing, the parkour was weird. I don't know, that whole, like, thing where, like, the bounty hunters are chasing Obi-Wan and Leia was kind of weirdly paced. Like, yeah, with the parkour where the third sister's, like, parkouring around on the rooftops, like, she takes forever, but it looks like she's going pretty fast. And she's not that far from where Obi-Wan's fighting off the bounty hunters. Like, she's not that far. And they don't move all that much either. So, I don't know. It was just weirdly paced. That whole scene with the bounty hunters and the rooftop and, like, Obi-Wan using the Force to save Leia before she, you know, splatters on the ground by falling, like, 3 stories or something, you know? It's just kind of weirdly paced. Like, people were like, all the villains were, like, taking too long to, like, get to them. So that was just kind of weird. So, but that was just because of the pacing, I think. Other than that, I did like the parkour and, like, literally everything else. It was just paced weird. I did like how Obi-Wan using the Force was actually, like, it took some effort. So it was cool to see him, like, struggle to reconnect with the Force. I really liked that, and I like that he's just been struggling this whole time because, yeah, like, if you've ignored the Force for 10 years and ignored all your training for 10 years, it's gonna be hard to whip yourself back into shape. Also, the fake Jedi ends up helping them, which is interesting because, like, he's sending them somewhere. Like, he gives them the little thing to, like, get off planet, and he's like, yeah, go to these coordinates and people will help you from there. And it's like, what's he doing? Because, like, his whole thing was, like, you know, he'd pretend to be a Jedi and help these people off-world, but he'd do it for a price, you know, which, you know, makes sense. It's a little sleazy. But he does say that he did legitimately help these people get off-world, and it sounds like it. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's, like, telling the truth or not, because, like, he does, like, stall the third sister for, like, a good second, and I'm actually surprised she didn't kill him. Like, she uses, like, the Force thing to, like, figure out where Obi-Wan went, but, like, she doesn't kill him, which I thought was kind of weird for her character, considering she's, like, in your face. I guess we really haven't seen her kill anyone, but, like, she might be all talk, who knows? Because it's kind of seen, but, like, I don't know how much that is, because, like, we clearly see her stab the Grand Inquisitor with her lightsaber. Doubt he's dead, because, like, he shows up in Rebels. Unless he's got a twin, or a clone, that'll end up replacing him. Who knows? Or, like, I honestly think he's just gonna pull a Darth Maul where he survives out of, like, sheer anger and revenge, you know? I think that's what's gonna happen. But she didn't hesitate to kill the Inquisitor, but like she let the fake Jedi live. So I don't know, that was kind of weird, but like, who knows? I don't know. We don't know a whole lot about her, so I guess we'll see. Oh yeah, and then Obi-Wan finds out that Anakin's hasn't actually been dead these 10 years like he thought he was, and you know, he finds out that he's actually Darth Vader, and so he's like, oh, great. Thought he was dead for 10 years, but turns out that's a total lie. How fun. But that's basically where those 2 episodes end. So like, basically, I'm wondering, where is that fake Jedi sending them, and like, who's gonna help them? And is that like actually legitimate, or is, you know, is he full of shit? Like, who knows? Like, I want to see what happens with that, because it's like, right? It's interesting, because that's where they're headed. That's where the next episodes should start back up. It'd be interesting to see how that's gonna go, and who we're gonna see, because it's been 10 years. I don't know. Of course, my dumb ass is like, clones. I hope there's clones, and I hope they have like a clone resistance or something. I'd love to see that. I doubt that though. I always have the most insane speculations that never end up being right, but you know, it's just me hoping. Even though those hopes are usually very, very wrong. But that ain't gonna stop me. And I'd like to see if the Grand Inquisitor's actually dead. I doubt he's dead. I think they're gonna pull a Darth Maul. He's gonna be fine. He just got stabbed with a lightsaber. People have survived worse. Also, I would like to know what the third sister's obsession with Kenobi is, because it's probably just, you know, her thirst for power and to gain favor with, like, Darth Vader or something like that. Or, you know, she wants revenge against him. Like, maybe he fucked her over at some point, and she's just like, I'm gonna get this guy. Also, are we gonna see Cody? Because I'd like to know what happens to him, because, like, we don't know. I doubt he's gonna show up in the Bad Batch. So, guess who shows up in the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer? That looks a lot like Cody. So don't think he's showing up in Obi-Wan, but looks like he's actually showing up in the Bad Batch. So I think that's the quickest I've been proven wrong. Because look at that. That looks like Cody. There's an antenna on his shoulder. That's Cody. And of course, cute little baby Leia. I love her. I hope there's more of her, because she's been carrying the show so far, and I'm not complaining. She's adorable. So that's all I have to say about the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you enjoyed my emotional ranting, why not like, subscribe, check out my other social media, and I'll see you next week. Stay sparkly, my dudes!